Welcome to The Explainer. So we're about to dive into a future that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. I'm talking about a world with no poverty, where that whole 9-to-5 grind, yeah, that becomes a thing of the past. And it's all because of AI.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with this quote because it really changes everything. This one idea is the bedrock for this whole conversation. A future where you don't have to work to survive. You only work if you feel like it. So how do we even begin to wrap our heads around something this big? Well, we've broken it down into 5 parts. We're going to start with the dream, the utopian vision, then get into the tech that could make it real, the new kind of economy that would pop up, and then the really tough stuff, the bumpy road to get there, and the deep questions it asks about what it means to be human.
All right, first up, a world without work. Let's really dig into this. What would that actually feel like? I mean, really, imagine waking up on a Monday morning and knowing you never have to go to a job again.
This vegetable garden analogy is just perfect for explaining it. Think about it. Most of us, we go to the store and buy vegetables because we need to eat, right? It's efficient. But in this new world, work is like deciding to grow your own garden. You don't have to do it. You do it because you love the process. You find joy in it. And that's the whole point. Work stops being about survival and becomes all about passion. It's just a hobby.
And here's the kicker. This isn't some, 100-year-out science fiction stuff. The prediction is this could start happening in just 10 to 20 years. Let that sink in. This isn't a future for our grandkids. This could be our future.
Okay, so the big question is how? How is any of this even possible? Well, the whole thing really boils down to 2 huge technological forces. You can think of them as the engines of abundance.
And here they are, the 2 pillars of this new economy. It's really a 1-2 punch. On one side, you've got digital AI, which is going to handle all the thinking jobs, coding, writing, strategizing. Then, on the other side, you have physical AI. We're talking humanoid robots that are going to take care of pretty much all physical labor. Everything. It's the total automation of not just our hands, but our minds too.
The logic here is actually pretty straightforward. If you can automate all the thinking and all the doing, what happens? Well, the cost of making, just about anything basically drops to 0. A car, a house, your dinner, it all becomes incredibly cheap to produce. And that is the key to creating a world where everyone is wealthy.
And the scale here is just mind-blowing. Seriously. We're not talking about a few robots on an assembly line. The vision is for a world where there are more humanoid robots than people. Imagine these things being more common than your smartphone is right now, just seamlessly woven into every single part of our daily lives. Okay, so if we get to a point where making stuff is basically free because robots are doing everything, what does that do to our economy? It means the whole system we've built for centuries has to be completely rethought from the ground up. And this brings us to a really, really important idea. It's not universal basic income, or UBI, which you've probably heard of. That's just about giving people enough to get by. No, this is universal high income. The difference is massive. It's not a safety net to catch you when you fall. It's a launch pad. It's about creating a world of such insane abundance that the very idea of scarcity just disappears. This table really maps it all out, doesn't it? You can see the evolution. We start with what we have now, capitalism, where you have to work to survive. Then there might be this middle step, a UBI world with some automation. But the end game, that's universal high income, where total automation means work is purely optional, something you do for fun. And it gets even crazier. I mean, what is money really? It's just a way to divvy up stuff that's limited. But if there are no more limits, if scarcity is gone, well then money itself might become totally irrelevant. The only things holding us back would be the basic laws of physics, how much stuff and energy we can get our hands on. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? A perfect utopia. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. The road to get to this future, it could be incredibly rough, even traumatic. And it all comes down to this one simple, terrifying question. Who owns the robots? I mean, seriously, the answer to that question is everything. It's the pivot point between a utopia for everyone and a complete socioeconomic nightmare. Just look at this number, 300 million. That's how many full-time jobs could be automated by AI according to Goldman Sachs. Before we get to any kind of paradise, we have to get through a period of massive disruption. Think about it, hundreds of millions of people watching their jobs just vanish. So here are the risks, and they are not small. If we're not super careful about how this all rolls out,
We could end up with a world where a handful of people own all the AI and all the robots. That doesn't lead to universal wealth. That leads to the biggest wealth gap in history. You're talking about a new kind of feudalism, a techno-feudalism, where a tiny elite controls everything.
All right, so let's say we navigate that transition. We solve the economic problems. That brings us to the last and maybe the deepest challenge of all. Because this one isn't about tech or money. This one is about us. It's about the human spirit.
This quote just hits you right in the gut, doesn't it? For all of human history, a huge part of our identity has come from what we do, from our work, from being useful. So what happens when a robot and an AI can do literally everything better than you can? What's the point? How do you find meaning in your life then?
I mean, this would be a totally new chapter for our species. For the first time ever, with all our basic needs just taken care of by machines, we'd have to figure out our purpose beyond just surviving. It's the ultimate question. What do we do when we don't have to do anything at all?
So that's the choice this future lays out for us, isn't it? On one side, it's a utopia of endless abundance. On the other, it's a deep personal crisis of meaning. And the thing is, the technology is on its way no matter what. It's coming. So the real question isn't about the tech, it's about us. Who do we choose to be when we're no longer needed?